Okay, so, we're all hearing this buzz about AI, AI this, AI that,
Right.
and real estate is no exception. It's
Yeah.
like, is this really going to change things, or is this just, more hype?
Yeah.
So today we're doing a deep dive. We're going to look at how AI is actually showing up in the real estate world.
Okay.
And we're talking buyers, sellers, investors, even renters.
Wow.
We found this excerpt, AI as your second hand in real estate, revolutionizing the industry. And let me tell you, this thing gets into it.
It does, and it frames it in a really interesting way, right? Because I think a lot of times when we hear AI, we think, oh, it's going to take my job, it's going to replace humans. And this really frames it as like your superpower sidekick. Like these are tools that can take what humans already do and just make them like a million times better, faster, more efficient. It's augmenting human expertise. It's not replacing.
So it's like having a sidekick who can analyze a mountain of data before you even finish your coffee.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
mean, how does that even work?
Well, let's break it down.
Okay.
Because this excerpt actually lists out 8 key ways that AI is changing real estate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so the first one, probably no surprise to anyone, valuations.
Okay.
Huge.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because we've all heard the stories, right? Like how subjective valuations can be. AI really changes that because instead of just looking at a handful of comparable properties, it can consider thousands of data points.
Right.
Past sales, obviously, but also things like renovations, hyperlocal market fluctuations, like even the timing of past sales can make a difference. So it creates a much more precise and data-driven valuation.
So no more gut feeling or hoping for the best.
Right. You got the cold, hard data.
Exactly. Okay, so what else? What about predicting the future? Can it do that too?
Well, not exactly predicting the future, but it gets pretty close. It's talking about predictive analytics.
Okay.
And this is like having a crystal ball, but instead of vague predictions, it's insights based on real-time information.
So what kind of information? What's it looking at?
So imagine a tool that not only tracks like current market trends, everyone's got their finger on the pulse of that, but it can also analyze things like city planning data, permit applications, like even social media sentiment to kind of give you a glimpse into where a neighborhood is headed.
Oh, wow.
So you're not just guessing, you're getting this data-backed glimpse into the future.
So that's huge for investors, obviously, right? But also just anyone who's thinking about buying in an area with potential.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so finding the perfect place, this excerpt mentions something called personalized matching.
Yes.
But it's not just matching you with a 3-bedroom house because you type that into a search bar.
Right. No. This is where AI starts to get really interesting because it can take your basic preferences, sure, but it can start to analyze your lifestyle, like your work commute, even things like your social media activity, to find things that really align with your needs, things that maybe you didn't even realize you were looking for.
See, that's what I love about this. It's it can think of things that I wouldn't even know to think of.
Right.
Okay, we got to talk about the virtual reality stuff.
Yes.
I'll admit, when I first heard about it, I thought it was kind of a gimmick. But
Yeah.
this excerpt, it made me rethink it.
Yeah, and it's because it's so much more than just like a fancy visual, right?
Yeah.
So imagine you're a buyer and you're relocating across the country. Instead of having to fly back and forth multiple times, you can do a truly immersive walkthrough. You can get a feel for the space. You can see how the light changes throughout the day virtually. And then on the flip side, for sellers, think about the possibilities of virtual staging. You can showcase a property's full potential to a wider audience.
Right. So it's solving problems for everybody. Okay, now I know some people, they get a little wary, I guess, when they hear about chatbots.
Right.
But this excerpt made me rethink the whole chatbot thing too.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to this idea of convenience, right? What if you need to schedule a viewing at 2 a.m.
Right.
or you have a quick question about HOA fees on a property? You don't want to wait for a human to get back to you.
All right, exactly.
Chatbots can handle those requests instantly. 247.
It's like having an assistant
Exactly.
who works 204/7.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's talk about the less glamorous side of real estate for a second.
Okay, yeah.
All the paperwork.
Oh, the paperwork.
That
Yes.
AI can help with that, right?
This is where AI truly shines in terms of efficiency.
Okay.
Because think about it. Data entry, contract review, even just flagging potential errors. AI can do all of that so much faster than a human.
Right.
And that frees up everyone involved to focus on Yeah, the more strategic stuff.
The bigger picture.
Exactly.
And speaking of the bigger picture, AI can also help us understand the real estate market as a whole, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can analyze a massive amount of data. And we're talking economic indicators,
Yeah.
interest rate trends, even things like social media sentiment, all to paint this really comprehensive, nuanced picture of the market.
Oh.
It's really like having your finger on the pulse of what's happened in the real estate world.
Okay, so last but not least, predictive maintenance. This
Yes.
one kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, it's cool.
It really is.
It's all about moving from reactive to proactive property management.
Okay.
So imagine being alerted to like a potential plumbing issue based on subtle changes in water pressure before it turns into this big, expensive leak.
Right.
Or, identifying appliances that are nearing the end of their lifespan so you can budget for replacements. So this is something that benefits both owners and renters because it minimizes disruptions. You could save significant amounts of money in the long run.
Wow. So we've covered a lot.
We have.
So for our listener, clearly they're interested in the future of real estate.
Yes.
What does it all really mean?
I think it means that we are really on the cusp of a major transformation in real estate. AI is going to touch every aspect of how we buy, how we sell, how we rent, even just how we experience real estate.
Right.
But I think the key takeaway here is that AI is a tool. It's not a replacement for human judgment or expertise.
Yeah.
It's up to us to understand its capabilities, but also its limitations, and figure out how we can best leverage it to create this more efficient, more transparent, and ultimately more human-centered real estate experience.
Right, because at the end of the day, real estate is about people.
It is.
Yeah. It's really exciting, though.
Oh, it is.
It's like this technology is evolving so rapidly. I mean, who knows what kinds of innovations are just around the corner.
I know, right?
But I think for now, the best thing we can all do is just stay informed, stay curious, and just see where this wild ride takes us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been great.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.